Hello everyone, it's Belladonna again and Madam Weepsy, here to tell you 5 of our favorite things about the wonderful film Shadow of the Vampire. One, Nicolas Cage. Now, Nicolas Cage is not in this film, but Nicolas Cage produced this film. I don't know everything about that. I know he was involved in the production directly to a large amount, and that he apparently bought the rights originally to do this. I do wonder if he had originally intended to be in the starring role of the vampire, Max Schreck. I don't know that, but it seems likely. I could see him doing it. I could see Nicolas Cage. It would be a very different kind of movie. You know, Nick Cage, he makes a lot of up and down films. When he hits it, though, he hits it good. And I could see him doing this. Now, I don't know why he didn't in the end, but he still ended up as the executive producer, making this film possible. And, you know, had Nick Cage not bought it, wanted to do it, or produce it, or whatever, it may never have happened. We may not have a Shadow of the Vampire. And I tell you, that would be a tragedy. So even though Nick Cage is not in this film, I loves me some Nick Cage. I love the good stuff. I love the bad stuff. Nicolas Cage is awesome. And I think it's wonderful that you look at the credits and you see his name and you know Nicolas Cage made it possible. 2. The history of this story. Now, this is not an accurate historical depiction of the making of the film NOSFERATU 1922 by F.W. Murnau. No, of course it's not. Number 1, it's just not, take my word for it. But number 2, there is a great deal that is still unknown about the inner workings of this film. There is some history about it. But you have to understand, now we are looking at this film being about over 100 years old. It's a long time, and a lot has been lost in that time. I mean, originally this is an unofficial adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula Nosferatu was. So a lot is unknown fully about the making of this film and all the inner workings. So when you look at it this way, it takes that history of what is known and creates a fictional history that, even though may not be real, I suppose, is one that you can believe in. So you can say, I love the original film, and it is my favorite vampire film, the original Nosferatu. It is a wonderful film that has always had the air of mystery. This adds to the mystery of history, which you don't often get. You know, and a lot of times speculative histories about things that have occurred can often be, just kind of crap. You know, fill in the blanks with whatever you like. I think the mystery of the history really sells this movie very solidly. Number 3, the cast. Now, I know I go on about casts a lot in these films because a lot of these films have a great cast. Now, it's not a humongous cast, but it has some wonderful, wonderful actors. I'm not going to get into the heavyweights just yet, but you have people like Udo Kier, of course, of Blood for Dracula, Andy Warhol's Dracula, and Frankenstein, and so much. Udo Kier is a phenomenally awesome actor, and it's a smaller part in here, but just to have him involved is wonderful. You have Cary Elwes, Dracula, amongst so many other things, as you wish. Cary Elwes is a wonderful actor that just brings a great presence of fun to this movie. Even though this is a very dark kind of almost horror drama, there's a lot of funny stuff in here, quite funny actually. It's, as it says on the front, a shockingly funny spellbinder. And I think that's accurate. Who said that? Rolling Stone. Yes, all right. So, it has a great cast of both the supporting kind and the major kind. You have Eddie Izzard popping up in there. You have so many great people that helped to build this story. It couldn't have been put together better. 4. John Malkovich. Now, John Malkovich is an actor that transcends various different levels. He's the theatrical, he's the artistic, he's the Hollywood. John Malkovich can kind of do it all. And his interpretation of F.W. Murnau, again, I don't know how much accuracy there is to it. I don't know a great deal about Murnau. I'd like to find out more if there's more to know. But it's history, it's a long time ago now. So his interpretation is both alluring, fun, disturbing, unlikable and likable at the same time. And, you know, John Malkovich, he's just like a human work of art in his own right. So him being at the helm of this, being Murnau himself, is just a wonderful choice, and I don't think they could have done any better than the great John Malkovich. And number 5, Willem Dafoe. Now, Willem Dafoe is another one of those actors that is like the greatest of the great of his time, and beyond, frankly. Willem Dafoe is one of those actors that can appear in just about anything, and he is phenomenal. He's just an amazing actor, and it seems like he's a rather amazing person in general. I have enjoyed every role that I have seen Willem Dafoe do, including Jesus Christ, the best Jesus Christ there is, in my opinion. The Green Goblin, if you like. All sorts of roles for Mr. Dafoe. And I mean, every one of them is great, but his interpretation of Max Schreck as Nosferatu. The original, of course, is silent, and then there's the Klaus Kinski version playing the vampire, which is quite good as well, actually. I really enjoy that. But Willem Dafoe just brings his own sense of style to it, and it's a wonderful character. I don't know, like I said, Nick Cage might have been good in it, but I don't think anybody else could outdo Willem Dafoe in anything. I believe that this Max Schreck is Nosferatu. It's the real deal. You know, no matter what history may or may not tell, Dafoe was so good, disturbing, dark, funny, fascinating, physical. He became Nosferatu. My God, it was amazing. That alone is worth watching it, but overall, Willem Dafoe is worth watching in anything. Thank you for joining us for 5 things we love about the film Shadow of the Vampire. Oh, Nosferatu, my all-time favorite vampire, brought to life by Willem Dafoe, John Malkovich, Nicolas Cage even. It's an awesome film if you haven't seen it. It not only does it justice the original work, but it truly, truly is beautiful and amazing. What do you think, Shadow of the Vampire? 2 fangs up. 2 buck fangs up. 2 points. Thank you, everyone.